Hi guys, it's Giant. Now, we've just had a couple of leaks about Warzone 2 and the expectation that is behind Warzone 2. So if you've probably already seen a chunk of the really negative feedback about how Warzone 2 looked and felt when it was shown at Cod Next. Now, one of the biggest issues that was raised was the lack of loadouts. And they've always said day one there are no loadouts, there's no perks straight away, because the way of getting your gun is to buy it directly from a shop rather than getting a loadout. There's been a load of polls on Twitter where people have been saying it's a 70-30 split in terms of them wanting loadouts back. Now, in terms of the casuals aren't going to be looking at Twitter. People playing for an hour every night after work aren't going to be looking at Twitter polls to try and influence and get loadouts back into the game. It's just not who is going to be doing it. So I expect there's probably a bigger proportion of people than 70-30 that actually want loadouts back. So the leak that came out yesterday suggested that the loadouts are going to be returning. Now, whether or not you're happy about that or not, I don't know. Personally, I think it's good to have both as an option. Every now and then, just running around with ground loot is fine. But to be honest, the longer that Warzone 2 stays out, it might be something that they can add back in at a later date. And actually, that might make people a bit happier. Who knows? Either way, it certainly seems like they're taking feedback on board, because there were a lot of people after playing it day one at Cod Next that weren't very happy with the loadout change. One of the other big things that they look to have, at least the leaker has found, that it looks like they're going to be changing is the AI. So previously, if you played Invasion, game mode Invasion, there was a chunk of AI dotted all over the map. And that's what Warzone was supposed to be. So the suggestion was that's what Warzone was going to be when Warzone 2 came out. But it sounds like they've kind of reverted a bit on that change and have decided actually that they're just going to be having AI based in strongholds. Now, to be honest, that's probably a better change. Having it everywhere on the map, I think that probably looked a bit better during Cod Next because there were fewer players playing, because it was just the people there. And because of that, lobbies were a small number of people. They said that the game felt slow because there was a small number of people. To be honest, that's because they were playing lobbies of 60 to 80 people as opposed to 120, 150 that you'll probably be playing in the full game. So I think that will make quite a big difference. Apparently they've updated the loot mechanic as well. Now, I'm assuming that you probably watched the Warzone 2 footage from Call of Duty Next. I didn't think that the loot mechanic looked very good. Whether or not there's something that you can change in the settings behind the scenes to actually make it feel a bit more like the original Warzone, I don't know. But it certainly didn't look like the type of loot system that we know from the past. It kind of looked a bit more like PUBG. Where you have different slots that you can allocate things to. On one hand, I quite like the idea of being able to hold multiple of the same type of ammo. So rather than just having one stack of AR, you can have two. If you're just running an AR and an SMG, for example, you can have one stack of AR, two stacks of SMG, or something like that, rather than having to have loads of sniper ammo that you're never going to use. So I think that's going to be quite a good change. Be interested to see how it works in the overall game when it comes out, and obviously how these changes kind of interact with DMZ as well. DMZ I'm really looking forward to. I think it's going to be a really good change. But I've seen a couple of people say that actually releasing it on the same day as Warzone is all very well and good. Actually, everyone's looking forward to Warzone. You're going to be taking people that may have been playing DMZ away from Warzone. When you don't really need to. There could be a week gap. People could play a week in Warzone, get a couple of unlocks, get a bit of a level up, and then jump into DMZ when they might have got some of the guns unlocked. If they're not buying Modern Warfare 2 when that comes out, then they're going to be levelling stuff up in games of, well, I'm assuming Plunder won't exist at day one, but in games of Battle Royale. So they're not really going to have much of an opportunity to actually get stuff unlocked. Either way, we've still got a couple of months till the full release of Warzone and DMZ. I'm happy to see loadouts back. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and share it with a friend.